All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another AJAXCAST. Episode 1, House of Dragon, is out. And I thought it was fucking amazing. My favorite character, I know I was big on Daemon. Can y'all have a guess at who my favorite character was in the
The
episode?
first episode?
Yeah, first episode.
I mean, I would have still said Damon.
It actually is Daemon, but I was gonna make a joke
Yeah.
about the heir for a day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's starting out with
Touchy
a
subject.
bang.
Touchy subject
Touchy
there.
subject. So let's dive right on in.
I have one thing to say.
Yep, go for it.
Dragons!
Dude, speaking of dragons, if you scroll down, I don't know. Okay, Daemon's dragon was fucking badass. Like, we saw previews of him, so we knew this motherfucker was gonna be a G, but he was very long and slender. So I thought that was pretty cool. He looked more like a snake to me with fucking arms and wings. But scroll all the way down, that motherfucker at the bottom that they showed in like the season 2 promo and preview, that motherfucker is yout, dude. He is fucking ginormous. Big ass green
Very.
dude. And then his neck is fucking thick, dude. Like, I am pumped for that motherfucker. I'm guessing that's the big dragon they were talking about. I can't remember his name, but yeah, overall, I thought episode 1 was very great. I'm curious to hear your guys' input on what you thought of the episode in general. My favorite part was probably like the whole jousting scene where you got to see all that happen, and you got to see a bunch of houses that were represented there. And I thought what was pretty cool is you saw the I'm blanking on them right now. The Bolton household. What was at the end? Yeah, you saw Baratheons, you saw Boltons.
Yeah.
Starks.
You had Starks get name dropped in there, and then they were in it as well. No Lannisters yet. Hightowers.
Lannister.
Was there a Lannister crust?
I think there wasn't there? They weren't very. They weren't the focal point of the episode.
Yeah.
At least.
They
I thought I saw a Lannister crest.
Okay, there may have been. I didn't see it. I only paused it a few times, so I didn't really analyze that a whole lot. But I know we are gonna have a pretty significant Lannister. If you tuned into our last Ajax cast, we kind of briefly dived into that. But like we said in the last one, Daemon's armor is fucking amazing. It looked so good. Like I'm going back up to those first 2 pictures we have, and yeah, he looks like he's pretty good competitive. Like, he beat the shit out of that Dornish guy until he started showboating.
Yeah, then in the end he got his ass kicked. Which is
Yeah, I
pretty funny
know.
to me. But I mean, it's really just also like a status symbol. Like he had the most badass armor of everyone there at the tourney.
Oh yeah.
And I also love that scene with the gold cloaks too.
Yeah.
Earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
Like
that first one where he's walking through, where they cut the dude's nutsack off the rip.
I know, man. Like, one of the things with Game of Thrones too, that I think had a bit of appeal with it, is how like realistically dark it was and brutal it was for depicting like how medieval societies operate.
And they started off pretty
This
dark.
was like Hammurabi's code shit. Get caught stealing, you get your hand cut off. Get caught raping, you get your dick cut off.
Yeah,
like,
it was pretty crazy.
It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see how King's Landing will be affected by that. But I mean, like, it's brutal, but I think it will be somewhat effective.
Oh, definitely.
And I think that's going to characterize Daemon's claim to power. Is that I think his supporters are going to say, yes, he's brutal, but he's an effective leader, unlike Viserys.
He'll get that
weak.
shit down. He'll get it done. Yeah, and then scrolling down, I like that picture of him sitting on the Iron Throne, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Well, yeah, that's another thing too I liked, is that the Iron Throne in this show is a lot truer to the books than the original Iron Throne in the Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Because this one's a lot bigger. It's also a lot, well, I kind of want to say almost gaudier, almost like it's not as pretty, and that's sort of the point.
Yeah.
Is that the Iron Throne was never meant to be this like pretty throne that you might see in like medieval times in like France or whatever.
Yeah.
It's meant to be like a responsibility, and also it's supposed to be like a heavy weight for every king.
It's supposed to be intimidating too. Like you see,
like it actually made a real fucking sword, so which is why he keeps cutting himself on it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say.
How many episodes do we give him before he dies from tetanus?
Yeah, dude, he's got tetanus issues. Oh man. But yeah. Overall, I thought the episode came out
R.I.P.
with a bang and
Viserys.
it looked good. The only thing I will say is I'm super excited to see what they go with the Hand of the King Hightower.
Mhm.
Because I like personally, I think he does not have the king's best interests at heart. I think he wants to try to get his family and bloodline in power, obviously, which is why he sent what his 15-year-old daughter to go
That was
keep the
so
king
fucked
company.
up, man.
Put your mother's dress on, like
That
Yeah,
made me
very,
so
very
uncomfortable.
interesting.
yeah.
I just, I wonder if there even is going to be another child at any point. Like, I think this is it. Like, after that entire scene with his wife, which, by the
Mhm.
way, that was a rough scene to
That
get
was hard
through,
to
too.
watch. That was hard to
That was an
watch.
extremely hard to watch scene. But I mean, like, it was meant to be. Like, it's meant to show you just how traumatizing this moment was for him. And in the end, he came out losing everything.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to see another heir. I think it's really going to be
Uh,
Rhaenyra versus Daemon at this point.
And
you know what I think?
the other girl.
What are you saying, George?
I, what I think is that the Hand's daughter, I think she will end up having an heir. But I also think that what's the main girl's name?
Rhaenyra?
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra. Her and Damon, they've got a weird relationship.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, at some point, they're going to hook up.
Incest is
In a,
wincest, George.
Oh,
dude,
it's
well,
full.
I
The
don't know.
Targaryens. The Targaryens are full of it.
the Targaryens are full of it, man. That's how they keep it all in the bloodline.
Yep.
That's
I
true.
guarantee you that because I think she's attracted to him. Just when she went to go see him alone in the throne room and no one else knew he was there, it's creepy, dude.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I can see it. I can see
I
that
see
for
it too.
sure.
I definitely can see that.
I just see them butting heads because they both have strong claims to the throne, and I don't think either one of
Hey,
them
that
is going to
don't
want
mean
to give that
anything.
up
Jamie
for
and Cersei
marriage.
butted heads like a
Every
lot of the
day.
time,
Incest.
bro.
They
Every
don't both
day.
have claims to the throne, though, with Jamie and Cersei. Jamie never had a claim. Rhaenyra and Daemon both do. And I think because of that, neither one is going to want to give that up for the other person.
That don't mean they can't bang on the side, bro. Targaryens are about that shit, bro. They're fucking
I
crazy.
don't know. When it comes to politics, man, people get fucking heated.
So
And in this case specifically, I don't see it.
going back
But
to
we'll
people
see.
who have a claim to the throne, or how I think it's going to come up between. So we obviously know Damon. Um, I also think we're going to see how do you say her name? Rhaenys?
Rhaenyra?
No,
Are you talking
the
about the older woman, the
yes,
heir that never
yes,
was,
the
or
heir
the
that never,
queen that never was?
the
That
queen
was.
that never was. You're going to see her try
Yeah,
to make a claim to the throne. You'll see Damon and you'll see Rhaenyra.
A
Wait,
true. Yeah, I
three-way
can see that.
civil war between the Targaryens.
yeah. So it'll be Rhaenys, Damon, Rhaenyra. Obviously
Hmm.
not Balin. I mean, for that one day, he was kind of popping off. Just saying. But I think you will see.
Bro, his KD is horrible.
It's Katie is so bad. Oh my god. But Otto Hightower's daughter, Alicent. Um,
Oh yeah.
I think she's gonna actually get with Viserys, the current king, and gonna try to produce an heir. That's what Otto's gonna try to push. I guarantee you. And I think we are gonna get a time skip either this episode or episodes coming up. Because if you saw in the episode 2 promo or in the post like credits that they had, they were kind of a promo for the rest of the season. Rhaenyra is much older and Alicent is much older. Like you could tell a significant difference. So I'm thinking we may see a
Mhm.
time skip. It'll be like 5 years from the death of Balin, or 5 years
Mhm.
since Daemon's been banished. Um,
Yeah, another thing I'm interested to see too during this time skip is that in the first episode they talked a lot about how Rhaenyra's dragon is also fairly young. So I'm interested to
yes,
see how the dragon develops and gets bigger and stronger after that time skip. I think it'll be interesting to
There are
see.
so many
they
dragons.
said there's
I
10
think it's
fully
oh, I thought it was
grown
11.
dragons. So
Bro, at the beginning, that dude was gambling away just 5 of them.
yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
It's crazy, dude.
you also
But
so here. Okay, I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat right here. So, do y'all think Otto Hightower has the best like interest for the king?
No,
No.
Okay.
I mean, I think everyone's self-interested in this, honestly.
Do you
that's how it
think
works.
that Otto
Yeah.
I'm telling
and
you, his
these
daughter,
Huh? Go ahead, George.
Hmm?
his daughter is going to end up having the king's.
Yep.
Yeah, she's going to end up. She's going to end up getting pregnant by the king,
I agree.
and
But
she'll have an heir.
also what I wanted to say, okay, moving back, so we think Otto Hightower is going to be bad, or he's going to really push for his family to the throne. I think that what you're going to see, or what I think is going to happen, is you're going to see revealed. So Otto and the small council. So the Grand Maester is Melos. I guess that's how you say it.
Hmm.
Do you think they had any sort of part in sabotaging the birth of Balin?
No,
I don't think so, honestly.
You don't think so?
I think that was
it
just
was all the king's fault. He pushed her too hard. She had already went through like two or three stillbirths, bro.
Yeah.
You can't
And
try
a
to have a
couple
kid after
miscarriages.
that, bro.
that was
Like,
her 5th attempt of having a kid right there.
That's right.
like that's
Yeah.
just not gonna work. Her insides were destroyed already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was just unfortunate, honestly. But I mean, I am interested to see too, just like what the battle lines will look like when the Civil War breaks out. Like, I know we talked
Who's gonna line up
briefly.
with who?
Yeah, I want to see like which regions are on which side. Like, who does the Reach side with? Obviously, that's going to probably be with the High Towers, whoever they end up with. But then we know, I think we found out like last episode,
Damon
Damon
is
controls
involved
the
with the
Vale.
Veil. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he is the Lord Paramount of the Vale. Is he married? I think, like
yeah.
the Vale nobility.
Yep.
And we
So
also
he
saw
unites the Vale.
her meeting up with one of his dragons, meeting it.
Yep.
So we might see that. But another point I want to bring up too, I have a theory that we're going to see some of these dragons start running wild because we saw in that first episode, towards the end of it, that Viserys was talking to Rhaenyra about how the Targaryen power comes partly from these dragons, but that they don't really control them.
Oh yeah.
And
But they
so I'm
obviously have
interested to
some
see what
sort of like power
happens.
with it because like Khaleesi couldn't get burned
Well, true.
with
They had the
fire,
blood of old Valyria, so they are
Hmm.
probably less susceptible to being killed by it. But I mean, the
but they
general
obviously they don't
populace,
control the dragons.
that's the problem. Like, they may not be killed by like their fire or anything. But I mean, if they lose control of the dragon, yeah, they might be fine.
I
But the
mean,
general
I tell you
population is
what, they
not going
may
to be
not,
okay.
but Daenerys definitely made it seem like they fucking did.
I mean,
I think they probably do. I think the blood of old Valyria definitely makes them like at least fire resistant or fireproof.
but
I just don't think they're going to be
No,
able
I'm
to
talking about
protect.
control the dragons.
I don't know if they completely control the dragons.
No, I'm saying I know they say they don't, but I'm saying Daenerys really made it look like they did.
Oh, okay.
I
She
really
had
don't think
quite
she
a
did.
grip over them.
No, Drogo went missing for like months, dude, and was just eating people's livestock. So even she
Yeah,
didn't have
that's
full
true.
control of them. The only
He was
reason
going through his teenage angsty years.
his
He grew
teenage
up.
angsty years. Yeah.
Well, so it looks like Rhaenyra's dragons probably going to be going through their teenage
He
angsty
was
years
adolescent.
during the Civil War.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I think there's going to be some incidents that occur that the Targaryens don't have complete control over them.
Yeah. I'm excited to see that big ass dragon. I'm gonna call him motherfucking
Daenerys,
Yout.
they're ringing the bell. Oh my god, she can't hear her AirPods are in.
Oh man. Yeah, when me and my girlfriend were watching, we're sitting there and I'm like, "Oh my god, look, it's King's Landing before he got nuked by Daenerys." And she's like, "I forgot what it looked like." So,
Mhm.
that was
Aaron Rodgers was there, bro. Did you know that?
oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Aaron Rodgers is in that scene. He gets blown up by a fireball.
Oh man. Are we going to see any
he's
celebrity cameos in this? Like will we see another Ed
Absolutely.
Sheeran?
There was a ton of
They're
celebrity
going to.
cameos in dude. There was like so many NFL players in the original Game of Thrones.
That's cool. Yeah.
I'm ready to see Marshawn in it.
Oh my god.
Marshawn was in
Everything.
Westworld.
He was in Westworld, and that like I didn't expect that. So it'll
Yeah,
be
he
interesting to see
actually
if he
had a
pops up in
pretty
this
like
show.
not just like a side character role either. Like he was. I don't say he was like super prominent, but you definitely saw him a couple times throughout the
Oh,
season.
I loved his character. I'm
Yeah.
just
His
interested to
character's a good
see how
character
he
for
would do in
sure.
this show.
Yeah, but moving back to this, it looks like
Yeah.
so we're predicting maybe a four-way battle for the throne. Rhaenys, the queen that never was, Daemon, who believes he's the rightful heir, Rhaenyra, who is just named the heir, and the child of Viserys and Alicent if they end up, getting together and
Hey,
vouching a
who's to
wow.
also
Yeah,
say that another land doesn't just say,
Like
"Oh,
the
look at all
Dornish
this
people?
turmoil
Like
in
Dorne,
King's Landing. Let's take this opportunity to seize the Iron Throne."
which
I wouldn't
is
just say Dorne though either. Remember they were talking about in the first episode. Those I think they said there was some forces consolidating in the Stepstones
yeah,
What about the
near
White
Dorne
Walkers too?
across the Narrow Sea.
yep. That's what I was
Because they
wondering as well.
definitely name dropped the fucking White
Yeah,
Walkers and shit, bro. We're
they
like,
teased
yeah,
it.
these motherfuckers are up there, bro. We gotta be careful.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think they're going to show up at all in the show. I think it's kind of just a callback to the original Game of
at
Thrones.
least
Like,
not
hey, we need
this
to be
season.
prepared. Yeah, I don't think they're going to show up. I think they are going to focus a little bit more on the South too.
Yeah. But I mean, you had the guy who won the tournament. He was from Dorne.
Yeah, his name was what? Kristen Cole.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah.
No, I'm just-
So I'll tell you his name real quick.
I want to say his last name was Cole. I think that was the house, but I'm not entirely sure. Although I will say, while you're looking that up, I would be interested in seeing if House Dane pops up at all.
Kriston Cole.
It was Kristen Cole. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, you could see a heavy Dornish presence. I'm gonna paste him in here so y'all can see him. See his wonderful locks of hair he's got.
I'd love to see it explore out all the dynamic between the Targaryens and the Dornish, considering they've always had a bit of animosity towards each other, considering their very long and troubled history.
Yeah. And
So I'll be interested to see if they explore, like, I imagine they're going to talk about the Coles a lot, but I also want to see if they bring up the Danes at all, because they have a really interesting
Yeah.
history too.
But also, what I was gonna say is, remember like the promos and trailers we saw? We saw Dornish people fighting. So,
Mhm.
who do you think out of those four they would side with?
Oh, God. I don't think they'd side with Daemon, honestly. I
No,
think that'd probably be the
Daemon is
last
gonna have the
person to
Knights of the
side with.
Vale, and he's gonna. I think the Gold Cloaks are gonna back Daemon.
Oh, they're definitely going to back Daemon.
I think so. What I think is gonna happen is you're gonna see Kristan maybe have an interest in Laena Valyrian, who's the daughter of Corlys and the queen that never was, Rhaenys.
Mhm.
And you could see something within that. And then Dorne is fighting with the Valyrians against the Targaryens.
Hmm.
Do you think that's the
Interesting.
potential?
Oh, yeah. I'm interested to see what happens with the Valerians too,
Yeah.
because
They
I
weren't
mean,
very
they
happy.
also have the blood of old Valyria in them, so
Yep.
theoretically, they probably should be able to ride dragons too. Now, I don't know if that'll happen, but I'm just interested to see if they explore that at all.
Oh, if Rhaenys like sits on the throne at some point, you know who her parents were?
I don't remember now.
Aemon Targaryen and Jocelyn Baratheon.
Interesting.
Huh.
Huh.
I love that they just kind of shit on the Baratheons during the tournament. They're just kind of like, oh, there's them damn Baratheons getting shit on again.
That's interesting to me though too, because the Baratheons were actually had close ties to the Targaryens for a very long time, especially
Yeah.
during Aegon's conquest. Like Aegon pretty much created the Baratheon dynasty. So it's interesting now that they apparently have a bit of animosity towards each other. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm also interested to see which side the Baratheons go on. I mean, obviously, we want to see where all the noble houses go. Also, where do you think the Starks are going to go? Do you think they're going to remain neutral?
to the north.
To the north,
So-
dude. They're just gonna say, fuck it, we're going to the north.
Yeah, because did you notice when they were all sitting there and they were all bowing, there was a bit of a hesitation from the Stark
Mhm.
contingency. They kind of looked around and then he went down and knelt. But there was
Yeah.
a bit of a hesitation because they consider themselves their own kingdom up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see them remaining neutral, honestly, in the war.
As they should, bro.
As
I
they
mean,
should.
like, it's two different completely places.
Or do
They're
you
so
think?
far-
Do you I think if the Baratheons were to pick a side, they would side with the Baratheons, and that's how the whole Ned Stark, Robert Baratheon,
I don't know.
alliance starts. You know.
Yeah, because they're friends. That's right. They fought together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's like, isn't that like almost like a century or
It's
so
like,
in the
yeah,
future?
it's more than
Yeah,
a
it's
century.
definitely like a little
But
bit
there
far
there
off.
definitely could be like family animosity, like
Well, now wait a minute. The reason, because Ned, Ned Stark's wife was his sister,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
right? She was a Baratheon, wasn't she?
Ned Stark's wife.
Yeah,
She
Mrs.
was not a
Stark.
Baratheon. Who are you
Was it?
talking about?
Oh, no. You never mind. In the very
Yeah,
beginning, he had. Oh no, he had a crush on her, didn't he? That's what it was.
I don't know what you're referring to, honestly.
I don't either. Just ignore me. I'm,
But anyway,
I'm
I
old.
don't know if the Baratheons had any ties to the Starks at this point. I might be wrong. I don't know their history,
Yeah.
but I don't think they do.
Yeah, it's about 172-year difference, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think they have any ties with each other yet, so I don't know.
Before the fall of the Mad King.
Hmm.
That
But
was
I
cool how
mean,
they opened it. I liked that.
yeah. Also, my question is too: who controls the Reach? Is it the High Towers right now,
I
or is it still or is it the Tyrells? Because I think there was a bit of a power change at some point in
I
the
didn't
Reach's
see
history.
anything for uh House Tyrell.
Yeah, I think it's the High Towers who control it right now. I'm not
Yeah,
entirely sure
because
though.
I did not see the Tyrell crest anywhere.
Neither did I. Because I think they're a relatively newer dynasty in the original Game of Thrones series.
Yeah, I mean, like, so what? This is what we said 172 years before the Game of Thrones, or before the start of Game of Thrones, the
Hmm.
birth of
Hmm.
Daenerys and all that. So this is probably right when Olenna's like a teenager, because she's old as fuck in Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, she's what, 200 years old?
She looks like it. Oh man.
Um,
But comparing that to the first episode of Game of Thrones, like season 1, episode 1, how does it line up?
I think honestly, I was impressed. Like it drew me in, kind of like the first episode of Game of Thrones. In fact, I would say it was a little bit more gripping than the first episode of the original Game of Thrones was, just because there's a lot more brutality going on here. You can already see the seeds of the Civil War planted
Yes.
really early on. Whereas the first Game of Thrones was a lot of exposition. There was some interesting stuff in it too. Obviously, it started out showing you the White Walkers, and the execution was it had its fair share of
Yeah,
gore
the
too.
thing I will say, um, the first episode of Game of Thrones, when you had Ned Stark come in there with the sword, winter is coming, all that shit,
Mhm.
that got me hyped. I didn't really have a character like get me hyped. Like, yeah, it was kind of cool to see Daemon just be like this badass, super rebellious. Like, I thought that was kind of cool, but he wasn't on the same level as Ned Stark, you know. And
Yeah,
there's no catchphrase yet, I'm waiting to see
not
what it
yet.
is. It's probably
Well,
gonna
that
be something like,
It's probably gonna be Fire and Blood.
yeah, Fire and Blood. That's
listen,
probably what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
listen. Ned Stark was Sean Bean, so Sean Bean's cool as hell.
Yeah, he's goaded with the
Oh yeah.
sauce. Goaded with the sauce. All right, before we end it, is there anything y'all want to leave it off with?
I just want to say this Great Council scene in this episode was way better than the Great Council scene in the season 8 episode.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking forward to the next episode.
I
though.
am super
I have
pumped.
high hopes for this series.
I am super pumped to see this big ass dragon. That motherfucker, yout. It's a new word. Look it up, George. Yout.
Yow.
Yeah. Damon is going to the Vale right now to get all them toes, and he's gonna come back, and I think he's gonna fuck some shit up.
Yeah, that's gonna be our catchphrase. Get them toes.
He's gonna eat so many
He's gonna eat
toes.
so many toes. On that note, we'll end it. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.